Welcome back to Speller Tutorial Services. In today's video we're going to work with a quadratic equation, and we're going to use the factoring method and also the graphing method to come to the solutions or the roots for this particular problem. Let's begin by using the calculator and actually putting this quadratic equation into the y equals function. So we begin by taking x squared plus 6x plus 5, and we want to see what that graph looks like. Alright, in doing so, we see that this graph crosses the x-axis in two places. One place is -1, and then here at -5. So we see from just this picture here that our solutions here are x equals, whoops, let's pull this back out, are x equals -1 and x equals -5 as the solutions. Let's go ahead and figure out what the vertex is. So let's click on second and then calc, and here we want to find the minimum value, which is 3. It's asking for the left bound, so let's go left of what appears to be the minimum, which I would say is in this region, and click enter, and then move to the right of that region and again press enter again. We don't want to guess, we press enter and we come up with our vertex is at -3, -4. So let's go ahead and put this in here. Vertex is at position -3, -4. Now let's go ahead and put the calculator away, and let's verify these answers using the properties of factoring. First, we know that this coefficient here in front of the x squared is a 1. And what I'm going to do now is rewrite the problem. And I'm going to rewrite it as 0 is equal to 1x squared plus 6x plus 5. First thing we need to do is multiply these two terms together. So 1 times 5 to give me a 5, which I'll call my magic number. Alright, and with this magic number, I need to find its factors that will add up to a positive 6. So to get 5, I know I can have the factors of 1 times 5 and also -1 times -5. Now when I add these two together, I want them to come out to be this coefficient here of 6. So 1 plus 5 does give me 6, so that appears to be correct. And then -1 minus 5 gives me a -6, so I can't use that. So it appears that my two factors are 1 and 5. So what I have to do now is set up two sets of parentheses to show my factors. X is to the left, and like I said, a +1 and a +5. Next, I'm going to use the zero product property. The zero product property says that A times B equals 0. Then that means that either the factor A is equal to 0 or the factor B is equal to 0, and either one will give me an outcome of 0. So I'm going to leverage that in this equation here. So I'm going to take my two factors, where I'm going to call x plus 1 is looked at as A, and x plus 5 we can look at that as B. So we're going to say x plus 1 is equal to 0, and we're going to put down that x plus 5 is equal to 0. To solve for this, I get x is equal to -1, and when I solve over here, I get that x is coming out to be -5. What you see are the same solutions that we came up with when we used the graphing on the calculator. Alright, and one more thing that I want to do now is also to use the discriminant. The discriminant is the expression b squared minus 4ac. In this problem, we see that a is equal to 1, b is equal to 6, and c is equal to 5. So here we're going to use 6 squared minus 4. A is a 1 and c is a 5. 6 squared is 36 minus 4 times 1, which is 4, and then 4 times 5, which is 20. So here I have 36 minus 20, which gives me 16, and 16 is greater than 0. Whenever the discriminant is greater than 0, that means that we have two real roots, and again, that's been proven because those roots here are -5 and -1. Alright, that sums it up for this video by Speller Tutorial Services, using both the factoring method and the graphing method to solve a quadratic equation. Thank you again for watching, and please subscribe to both the YouTube channel and and friend us on our Facebook page.